she's watching us too. Hey. But listen, we are live. We are live on Instagram. We are live on Facebook. I'm trying to make sure that there you goes. My camera, my screen. Hey girl, congratulations. I'm actually trying to make sure that my Facebook looks okay because I dropped my phone over the weekend and it kind of like cracked a little bit, even though I have a screen protector, but it still kind of, cracked a little tiny bit. But we are live. What's up? What's up? So yes, I will say I did not get to get on my ladies chat on last Thursday. We were actually I don't know if it looks funny. I hope it don't look too funny. What's up, Facebook, Instagram? The Barkers coming to you live. I know I'm missing my other partner, but he will be here. We literally just got home like 8 minutes ago from taking our kids to Bible class on Wednesday night. So my sons love it, and we take them. There he goes, the man of the hour. Look at you, handsome. Look, what is this? I don't want this.
What's that?
Create a room. Ain't nobody want a room. There it goes. So yes. So we're excited. Hey girly, I'm glad you're on. I know you recently got engaged. Congratulations. So these conversations are definitely pivotal for going into the marriage, right? Because it's one thing to be married, but it's another thing to be prepared to get married. So I know this is really, we kind of like to talk to marriages, but you're engaged. I'm excited. So, chime in, listen in. What's up, Facebook, Mr. Barker?
Hey, what's going on,
Instagram?
Instagram. How
my Facebook
doing?
looked funny because remember my screen cracked. You see the top part?
Yeah.
Look a little blurry over there.
You might need to take the glass covering off.
Eventually, but not like right now because I don't want it to fall again and then it breaks the phone for real.
Yeah.
So guys, we're excited. So last Thursday I didn't get to do my ladies. We were actually in West Palm Beach in Florida, and we had some technical situations happening, so we did not get to but you might have to move a little bit, or I gotta move this.
No, you good.
Okay, but that one is kind of funny. That one is kind of side.
This one?
Funny, yeah. So it was some technical, like, internet issues. So that's why. But I'm gonna make it up. I might do a double banger this week just to kind of make up for that situation. I definitely want to get into, for my ladies, a praying wife. That's gonna be one of my major topics coming up. If not this week, actually this week, I'm not sure if I'm gonna add a Thursday. I mean, an extra day. So that's gonna be incredible. And let's jump into it, let's jump into it. We actually are going over what we have in mind for what P.O.R.N means, acronym. This is the name of our marriage platform that we put together at the beginning of the year. So we launched. Thank you. And we're excited. We love it. You guys have us on here for free for right now, which, the price of yesterday is not today. Prices are going up. So eventually, y'all gonna have to see a little subscribe button, and it's gonna be something $99 to watch us, coaching and mentoring and things like that when it comes to marriages and just relationships or whatever. So that's incredible. That's exciting. So we're actually in the word R. So we did pull P for pure about 2 weeks ago. Go to our YouTube. Go to our page. What is it? direct.me/Barker Worldwide. It links you to our YouTube that has the last couple weeks of pure for P, open for O, and then today we're doing R for renew. So we're excited.
We are excited, guys. Again, I want to welcome everybody on Facebook and Instagram. Today is renew, right? Renew, the R.
So well, first I want to ask,
Actually, let's talk about the debate we was really having.
First let's ask what does people think renew mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you're on here watching live, definitely chime in, comment. Like, what do you guys think when we're saying renew for marriage. Like, what do you guys think about? What do you guys think this is about? Just where you guys at with that? Because it kind of took us a little bit to really put it like together. Check under your pillow or go look in the cabinet. Okay, so we just got here. Remember this. This is raw and authentic. So our boys are still getting ready for bed. So they're just showering. So they, a little assistance. So yeah, so when we first thought, we were like, oh my gosh. Like when we thought about this name, so many thoughts came in for the R, for renew. And we were like, okay, now we're talking about it tonight. How can we really kind of get into it? Now for me, and even with Brandon, we thought about, when you think of renew, we're thinking like new, right? Of course, renew, right? You're thinking like new, restore, refresh, rejuvenate, and this is one of the biggest things that we kind of went back and forth with when we first thought about our name for our platform, Marriage P.O.R.N, because the R can mean so many things, like I just said, renew, refresh, rejuvenate. But why did we stick with renew versus all those other words? And I feel like renew kind of just hit it in all different places for the marriage versus just having rejuvenate or refresh. Because you think of renew, you need to refresh to be renewed. You know what I'm saying? You want to be rejuvenated so you get renewed, right? So renew was really the big core of it. And then going into my first thing is you have to renew your love daily. You have to renew your love daily. Now, I want to mention, how do you guys feel about that statement? Like, do you agree that you should or you have to renew your love daily? Think about this. I'm talking about daily. I'm not talking about weekly or monthly or yearly. I'm talking about renewing your love daily. Like every single morning, every single lunch, every single afternoon. And it sounds like a difficult job, but it's not a job. It sounds like a difficult thing to do, but it's not. You're renewing your love every morning, every day when you're, hey, beautiful, hey, sunshine, hey, I love you, hey, how's your day? Little things like that, believe it or not, it's kind of like you're pouring, how do I say it? You're pouring water on the seed every day to renew it, to make it grow, to make it grow, to make it grow. And of course, you keep watering it, it's gonna grow. If you stop, it's gonna probably die. And that happens a lot. We're going over renewing your love daily. So I question on here, one of the questions I put on here is, why did you get married? Ask yourself. Hopefully you guys are watching with your spouse. If not, put them on. And if they can't get on, get back on the replays, get back on the YouTube and go check it out, because this is a big deal that, we mentioned to you when we decided to get into this marriage platform. This is something that God really spoke to us about, with renewing marriages, refreshing, rejuvenating, because this is something that, we went through a time of, how can we continue to grow and renew our love, right? That was a big, big deal. So why did you get married? That's one. Why did you fall in love? Right? Why did you fall in love with each other? Think about these things. So sometimes when he irritates me, I just be like, I love how he roasts my feet. I love how he cooks. I love his sexiness inside and out, because I really be mad and like really want to be like, goodbye, I'm done. See you next time. You irritate me. But we got to remember these things. And this is just me being real. And, and I think that's one of the reasons why, God put this in our hearts, because, well, especially like Brandon's learning about this, but like me, I'm very bold. Like, I'm just bold in a lot of things. I say whatever. I've always been that way. And he's, Brandon is getting the boldness from me. I guess it's starting to what is that? Rub off. But why did you fall in love? From the beginning. And restoring your strength. This is something I think you wrote down.
So you did go over renew, right?
Yes, like new, restore,
refresh, regenerate,
rejuvenate.
Rejuvenate. My bad. Also, when you do restore, it creates growth and change in your life, right?
I like the plant analogy I was doing because you could use that.
Yeah.
Because you said restore what?
It creates growth and change in your life. It's just like my wife was saying, like when you're watering that seed and you don't see nothing, but it's growing the roots. The roots are growing deep. That's the foundation of the actual plant. That's the same thing with your relationship. You want to make sure you establish the foundation of your relationship strong so it can go through the test of times as you go on your journey together, and do just over the years and months and different seasons that your marriage go through. Also, we had a conversation literally about this, and I was just thinking about it. It might be up for debate, but we was thinking about.
You thought about it.
Well, I thought about it, and I was like, a lot of people renew their vows, right? And so, to me, when I think about renewing vows, I think it's just to reaffirm what you said that day y'all made that commitment to be one.
Well, I think I mentioned that too because you asked me, and I was just like, you're reaffirming, what's the other word I said?
Reaffirming the actual.
You're validating. You're revalidating again.
And then I could say, I know that also what I noticed, if you had if it was a troubled marriage or y'all had some difficult times through your marriage, it's a time to restart, not start the whole relationship over, but to restart on a new track of what's the next level y'all going into? What's the next level y'all going into? What's the next journey y'all about to take together? And as you get older, everything starts to change, and you start to see different values.
This is what all he was thinking. I was thinking they just want to party, a reason to get together, party, make it nice, maybe have a wedding that they didn't have. I remember you mentioned that. I was just like, do you want to have one?
Yeah, she asked me that I want to have one. I was like, right, really, I don't feel like I have to have a renewing of the vow.
I could just do a big old anniversary trip.
Yeah, I think a big anniversary trip would be the best thing. But, your relationship is like wine. As time goes on, it ages. And, as wine ages, it gets a lot,
juicier.
Yes. And and it starts to really, get that matureness of the wine and the real flavor of the wine. And that's how I feel that, as far as your marriage, it should age just as well.
Well, so speaking about renewing the vows, you were going into if you went through a hard time, and then now you guys want to, because you stay together, you're working it out, things are getting better, and you want to kind of recommit, get married, basically.
Yes.
Let's start fresh, let's start over, things happen. So my question is, and this is just being real, and this is what I thought about.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and say it before you forget.
No, I wrote it down, so go ahead.
Okay, and what I was thinking is, maybe with renewing your vows, maybe that marriage didn't have the opportunity to really celebrate their wedding like they wanted to. That's what I look at it as too, as well. Maybe you got married young and you just wanted to get married because y'all was in love. Y'all went to the courthouse or something, like everybody had to go to the courthouse, but you actually wanted to have a ceremony, and I think that's awesome. If you want to have a ceremony and you never had that ceremony,
that's good.
I think that's awesome because you remember you're making a declaration in front of God. You know what I'm saying? So I commend those people that didn't have a ceremony and decided now that we're in a good financial space to do it, we can actually really renew our vows to have a ceremony to celebrate our oneness as being one, and as far as God just putting His blessings on our marriage as we go forward. And I think that's a beautiful thing as well, you know, if you didn't get that opportunity to celebrate your marriage like that.
So that's definitely good. I like that. I've heard of some people that they never really had a wedding, they just got married at the court, they want to have a nice ceremony, so that's really good. And then they can do like, oh, it's been 10 years, 5 years, let's renew the vows, let's make a nice ceremony. One of the questions I asked is, I was mentioning to Brandon, like, well, what if you're struggling and your marriage is not doing great, right? Like, we have to be realistic, right? We have to be just transparent, and that's just me, you know, being bold. Not everybody that's watching us or that gets these calls and videos or chimes in, you might not be in the best place in the marriage. You might be struggling, and I know my husband mentioned this before, like, you go through different seasons, right? So like one season, you know, maybe it's a little struggle. We had the season like it was kind of rough. It didn't, you know, it wasn't great. We didn't really like each other. But I hear so many marriages, typically all of them, mention like, oh, we all been through that. Like, we all had that struggle. We all had that rough patch. We all had the moments we didn't like each other. However, it stopped. Okay? It wasn't like, oh, we're 15 years in and we still don't like each other. Or we're 5 years in and we still can't get along. Or, oh, we're, you know, 30 years in and we still don't hang out or don't talk or don't agree or just don't care, you know? And that's not okay. And, you know, I'm here to say that. And that's going to be one of my calls. I don't know if it's going to be a marriage call or a wife talk, that it's not okay to be in a continuous settling in the marriage. It's not okay to not be happy. It's not okay to just continue to struggle like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Next thing you know, you're retiring, and now retirement is really should be you guys, especially if you had kids and stuff. But you're like, no, I want to retire and I want to just travel the world by myself, or I want to be with my girlfriends or something. And it's like, but you threw away all these years married to someone that wasn't really your soulmate, wasn't really your partner. Because remember, marriage, at the end of the road, this should be your partner. So when you are older, this should be the partner that you help each other when, you know, I know we were at the beach the other day, and I saw the cutest thing. I was going to take a picture, a video. I don't know what I was going to do. But it was this elderly couple. They had to been in their 80s, maybe late. They were older, right? Like, yeah. They were walking towards the water, towards the ocean, and she was holding him, and it looked like he was older, the older one, and he was kind of like slow, trying to get his feet in the water, and she was, you know, with her arm under him and grabbing him, and it was just the cutest, most precious, adorable thing in history. And I was like, babe, that's gonna be us. Like, that's so cute. And I really was like, take a picture of the video, something, but we didn't do it because I was just like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. Like, we all should have that. And I'm pretty sure and they're older, so I'm pretty sure they could tell if they were around like here, like, yeah, we had a rough patch. But if you are that struggling, you know, marriage, or you're going through a rough patch right now, or a season, or a journey, or whatever, how can we renew this marriage? How can we renew this? It shouldn't be continuous years and months. Like, I think, you know, the struggles and the journey of not the good time, it shouldn't be more than maybe a year, 6 months. I don't know what you think, babe, but I don't think it should be like we had a rough 2 years, 5 years. Yeah. We didn't get along. You know, the intimacy wasn't there. The sex wasn't happening. Like, that shouldn't be, I think, personally, honestly, for me, even several months, I was like, okay, this can't go on. This cannot be my marriage. This cannot be my husband. This can't be life. This can't be why we got married. You know, there has to be more. And of course, you got to push through, and there's different struggles. But renew comes into that, right? If you're struggling, you're on here, or you're going through some challenges or something, how are you renewing your marriage? What are you doing to renew it and restore your love? your connection, your commitment, your intimacy, your communication, your oneness.
And this is another thing you can do, guys, just far as like, you know, like to piggyback off of what my wife is saying, is basically going back to the point of investing in your marriage. That's also renewing, because a lot of people got to the point in their marriage where they stop investing into your marriage. And when you stop investing into your marriage, you only can get out what you put in, right? So when you start...
But how do you invest? I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago.
Just like through counseling, just communication, even doing premarital classes. I mean, well, not stuff like premarital, but marital classes, and dating each other again. You know, that's also, so you want to renew everything and make everything fresh again. You know,
and it's not easy. You know, it's not easy. There has to be a point when we talk about renew. There has to be a point that you both need to come to one and say, okay, are we gonna do this or not? Like, there has to be eventually a common ground when it's, okay, are we gonna, like you said, are we gonna reinvest in our marriage? Are we gonna refresh our love? Are we gonna, you know, rejuvenate what we have for each other? Are we gonna, like, why did you fall in love? Why did we get married? Like, what are we doing? Or is this gonna be this way forever? Because if that's the case and we're both comfortable and complacent, that's not what we're here, what we're called for in the marriage. Like, if you guys really look up like biblical terms and information, what we called for in marriage is not for unhappiness, you know, anger and struggle, and it's not for that. You know, it's for like love, prosperity, and things like that. So that's a big deal. Like, if you're like that situation, really think about it, like with your partner, like we're doing tonight, like renew, like how can we do this, you know?
Yeah, and that's a lot of what I like to say is, you can just also, when you start reading books about marriages, about relationships, you know, that's also a form of renewing your mind, instead of just, you know, not, like I said, when you're not invested into your marriage, then that's when everything really starts to fall apart. You already
checked out.
Yeah.
When you're not investing, you're checked out. Like, you're just checked out. And we tell people, we tell, you know, we tell marriages, like, you're checked out. Like, what is the purpose? Why are you there? Why, you know, if you're scared about separating, or you're scared about financial situations, you're scared about divorce, like, what is worse, you know, being scared of separating or being scared of having a miserable life for the rest of your life? Because I feel like this relationship, out of all the relationships, your kids, your parents, your cousins, your friends, out of all the relationships in this earth that you have, this relationship is the most important one that you should be fulfilled and happy in. And if there's a problem, and I want to make sure that we understand, that some of you understand that I'm not saying that just because we're great right now, because that's not the case. Like I told you, every time we argued like 20 minutes ago. Like, I literally say that, but I literally mean it. Like, he told me earlier, change your attitude. You got an attitude. And I'm like, no, I don't. He's like, yeah, you do. I know you. And I'm like, whatever. But
I said, you need to renew your spirit.
Renew my spirit. I was like, ain't nobody renewing nothing. I was about to come out here with nothing and just be like, wow. You know, but what I'm saying is, I don't want people to feel like, oh, they're just coming on here and telling me that I got to renew my husband because it's not working out because they going all great. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we went through some things. Now we are here to lift everybody else up and to help others. We still struggle, but remember, we go to our mentors. We go to our marriage counselor. We go to our marriage books. We go to God. Like, we are still going to someone. We're not just on here like, oh, we're great, we're perfect, and you guys got to renew what y'all got going on. No, you know, so I want to make sure that that's also out there. Another thing is, renew your mind to change the way you think, to create better for yourself and your life that honors God. This is one of the ones Brandon got. It was from Romans 12:2. So renew your mind to change the way that you think, to create a better self and a better life that honors God. And we just discussed it. You're not in a marriage for nothing. You're in a marriage for God to be prosperous and honoring and producing or kids and all that stuff.
And that's another thing. So when you go to that, and that's a part I like to say, is when you start out serving each other, when you unconsciously start doing things for your spouse, that right there is you transforming into a renewed person. That's you renewing.
Oh, I like that.
And I like it because it's also like, I like to say, it's the new you. You giving her the new version of you. You know what I mean? The past is the past.
It's kind of like when how some women, they always say, like, I know I could change him. He could be better. I know he could do better. It's kind of, I don't want to say that's what it is, but it's almost like that. Like, y'all know, come on, late wives, you have that relationship that you're like, oh, I could change him to be better. Oh, he can do this, or he can do that. He could be a better person if he did this, or a better dad if he did that. That really happens. It takes time, and the person, the husband, I'm talking about the ladies, gets molded, and he starts growing. He starts renewing his soul, his spirit, his mind. So it happens, but not the way we want it. Like, oh, he could be a better person. No. I know we think about that. I tell him all the time. I'm like, man, I'm so lucky because I always knew, how we do. We always see the potential in the husband or the boyfriend or whatever. Well, you got to stick through it because he had to go through something to be able to get to the point where he did renew his mind, his spirit, his attitude, and all that stuff. So I do believe in that part when, people are like, oh, you can't change no man. It's not about you changing them. It's about them renewing themselves. What's this part?
The reorganize.
Yeah, how can you renew yourself, right? And yeah, we got our notes. How can you renew yourself? Go ahead, babe.
So basically the reorganization is the highest priority in your marriage, and reevaluate what is
commitments. That? Reevaluating your commitments.
Yeah. So reevaluating your commitments to each other, right? And what do you want to say?
You said reorganize what?
The highest priority.
In what?
In your marriage.
So I had to ask my homegirl this the other day. Is your husband's priority your marriage? I had to ask that. Is your spouse's priority, and forget about the spouse, if we want to talk about us, wives, husbands on Brandon's part, is your marriage your priority?
Right.
Like, because I hear certain stories and I hear certain things and I'm seeing certain things that is like, yo, he kind of values his job more. Or she kind of likes to hang out with her girlfriends more.
Or be with the kids more.
Or she's like, girl, you're always just hanging out with the kids. Like, what about your husband?
Yes.
What about date night?
So.
They jumping around. Yeah. They about to get knocked out.
So, when I like that, right? So, reorganize your highest priority. Well, first, it starts with the man up above. And it starts with the man up above, right? So, as far as us fellas, we got to be on that one accord with God, to have our marriage fall into place. And I talked a little bit about this on Men's Monday, right? So, that's one of the highest priority. Then you go with your marriage, and then you have your marriage goals. And what are the marriage goals and priority that are going to keep you guys happy? What is going to keep you guys together? What is going to keep you from those arguments or those little arguments that turn into big arguments? What are those things? And when you start renewing your whole relationship as a couple, as one, you got to start looking at the little arguments that you're having and the little things, and it's not as big or as necessary. Or sometimes you got to pick and choose your battle. And that's another thing. When you start renewing your mind, you start picking and choosing your battles and saying, you know what, this is not even worth arguing about, Or if you feel like it's something valid that you really want to get off your chest, you figure that, this is not the time and the place. I'm going to come to her when she's in a different mind frame, or I'm going to come to him when he's in a different mind frame, and we can actually start, it's a renewed mind frame. Because now they're not in the argument or the confrontational mind frame, so now it's a renewed mind frame that you actually can really get your point across, that you want to express how you feel about the situation. So now that person really is in tune and listening to what you're saying instead of being argumentative about it, you know. So that's one thing that you can do as far as reorganizing at the highest goal.
You gotta move up more.
All right.
Maybe that's too far. But yeah, so what were you saying? The priority?
Yeah, I was just talking about how you can go from your priorities, which, you know, you're going to put God first, and then your marriage and your marriage goals. You have different marriages have different marriage goals. Right.
Do you even do your marriage goals?
And that's another thing, you know. That's a good thing, you know, to do.
Because I know some people, I know a lot of marriages that they never, and married 5, 10, 20, 30 years, they never do any type of marriage goals. It's just more financial goals, kids goals, or family goals, but like marriage goals.
Now, if somebody don't know what a marriage goal is, like what would you consider like?
So, for me, one of my biggest marriage goals is really dedicating time to my husband, like to him. So once a week, massage. Like I'm really big. You know, I don't always do it, but I make up for it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a big deal, a marriage goal for us. You know, once a week, massage, and full body, like no games, lotion out. Like I try to do it once a week. It might be every other week, something like that. Something like that could be a big deal. And then date nights, like once a week, we're set on our goal of we're having this date night. I actually did see this one couple. I think I told you. I like this idea. They do a once a month. 24-hour date. I thought that was pretty cool. 24 hours. So what they did, this lighting is irritating me. What they did for this month, they actually went up to the mountains and they went to the winery for, it was like, I guess like the night, you know, did a dinner, drinks, wine or whatever, and then just came back home like 24 hours, like overnight somewhere or a cabin or things like that. So I kind of like that, you know, and it doesn't have to be a way, you know, the kids could go one to grandpa, one to grandma, and you could just go up the road to downtown for dinner and come back home and have a movie night, 24-hour, and then, you know, do your movie, you know what I'm saying? So.
Or you can have.
Why are you so serious?
Or you can have a marriage goal of out serving each other.
Yeah, he likes to get all. Now Brandon's getting all like cute. Like before, he used to be like, oh, whatever, date night. Now he's all like extra cute with it. Like, let's out serve. Let's do this. Now you know, I like it though, because you know it took 13 years, but I like it.
Marriage goals can also be, and this is for my fellas right here. The surprise trip for your wife, because usually if the wife don't usually plan a trip, we usually don't, you know, nothing happens. So you can surprise her with the trip, you know.
I'm too controlling for that.
Another thing is marriage goals are affirmations, daily affirmations.
Yeah, what's it, five a day?
Yeah, you can do 5 days, 5 a day affirmations.
Okay, good?
Good.
All right, so we're on the how can you renew yourself, right? So we talked about reorganizing your priorities in your marriage, because remember, it's marriage your priority. Ask yourself that first, and it's your and your spouse, like I mentioned, and then also reevaluate your commitments. You know, I'm going to give y'all an example. This weekend we were in Florida. I made it very aware to everyone I was with. Me and Brandon have a dinner date. It was on this night, at this time. The kid was going to go to bed early because we took our youngest one. I made sure I arranged everything. And I told my homegirl, like, yo, I don't play when it comes to my husband and our date night and my time with him. I don't play that. So I recommit every single time with like that, and he knows it, and my friends know it. All my people know it. I don't play when it comes to Brandon, and our marriage stuff, you know, and that's my commitment. Every time I commit to that, you know, I'm very serious and very focused about that. The second one was it's 3 of them. So the first one is recognize your priority in marriage and reevaluate commitments. The second one is, well, that also can go is, are you committed to each other? You know, because this one spouse might not be committed. They might have priorities, but they might not commit. Just because you're priority don't mean you committed.
Correct.
You know. The second one is allow yourself to let go of the past and make room for the new. Talk about this past. Talk about forgetting this past, because woo, girl.
You gotta let go of the past.
That's easy for him to say.
You gotta let go of the
That's
past.
easy for y'all husbands to say. Because every now and then I be wanting to re-stab him, you know, because of some past.
But it's like this. If the situation has already been discussed, there's no reason to dig up any old bones. You know what I mean? And then also, you know, if it's something, I like to say, if it's pre-married issues, pre-married issues.
Here we go.
Those issues should have been worked out before you got married, because those issues don't need to be brought up during the marriage.
Let me go sip my wine or something listening to this.
So, and that's another thing right there. You got to leave that in the past. You know, if it's pre-married, I say, to me, and this is my opinion, before marriage, nothing was under...
See how he's smiling? Like, he can't even say this serious.
No, I can't say this serious. Before marriage, nothing was under the covenant of God.
Like engaged and everything, right?
Yeah, nothing was under the covenant of God, you know. And so, at the marriage, you take me as I am, right? And I take you as you are, right?
No, maybe that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, it is, but that's what we're going to. So, again, make room for the new, right? So when you getting married, you're making room for the new. You're not making room for what happened before you got married. You're starting a new chapter, right? You're writing a new book. You know, she don't want to hear this.
Anyway, so on to the next one.
But it's true.
Number 3, commit to decisions you've been holding off. What's that, babe? Because I was trying to get the last part. What decisions you've been holding off?
Just, well, I don't even know where we was at on our note taking on that.
How can you renew?
Well, commit to the decisions you've been holding off.
So, like, if you decide to put your marriage first, you need to commit to that.
Yeah.
Like, you decide, like, okay, it's been a rough patch. Things aren't going good. I got to make priority on date night. Because some of y'all don't even have date night. Can we talk about that? Like, 3 seconds. Some of you all, ladies and gents, husbands and wives, don't even have date nights. Ever. Like, ever. Like, not even once a month. Not even every 3 months. Not even once every bi-week. Like, listen, treat it like a paycheck. Bi-weekly. Take her on a little lobster date or something. You got paid today, babe. Let's go have dinner. Let's go do lunch. Let's treat each other. Let's go to the massage. Like, y'all don't do date nights. Commit to that. Make that decision.
What if they're married, but
they should be married?
Okay. What if they're married and one travels a lot? Like his job is basically traveling. How would you go about
Man,
that right
so
there?
This is another topic, because we do come across a lot of marriages that the spouse travels out of town, or the spouse they do, like, I know a lot of friends of ours, they're truck drivers, or they're entertainers, or what else, just contracts. You know, you might work for a corporate, you might have a contract somewhere else, or you might be an entrepreneur. You know, I got our friend online, he's an entrepreneur, he travels often. You know, again, what is your priority? Because if you're traveling, let's say every week, you know, Monday through Wednesday or Monday through Thursday, or every other week you're, you know, going Monday through Friday, I really feel that in these cases, the marriages, you have to really work on prioritizing your wife and your family.
So you really got to schedule.
Like, really scheduling. Like, you know what, if you know the weekend of the 3rd, you're off that weekend or you're coming in town that weekend, you figure something out to spend that time with your wife. I don't care if you got to get a babysitter. I don't care if you guys got to go out late.
So say my schedule, I'm traveling pretty much Sunday through Thursday, and then I only really got Friday to like really Sunday evening to really. So if that's a month period of time,
like once a month,
yeah, you know, at least that once a month, you know.
So you're out of town, like you're not home.
Yeah.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah, you fly back in late Thursday night, and then.
So we get Friday. We hanging out Friday.
But you know, that's the time you kind of want to. Well, you know, date night.
So okay, well you can. So that's the thing. Like you need self care, of course, right? Yeah. That's what you're saying because you're tired, you traveled. Cool. Friday can be your self care day. Saturday could be our date night. Yeah. You know, and it can even be a massage because you're tired from traveling Monday through Thursday, and that's what I'm trying. That's the good thing that you mentioned, babe, because a lot of us wives, we don't think about the man as also needing self care. Like schedule that massage for him, surprise him. I done it to him. I'd be like, hey, babe, this day at this time, you were going to that spot up the road. You getting that feet rub you like, I got the kids.
Or same way for the fellas that are traveling. Another great idea is that if you're on the road or you're traveling, and I know you have those long phone calls, because if you're traveling a lot, you should be having a lot of phone calls where you can talk at night or in the evening. You can actually send a nice Uber Eat dinner to your wife.
Creative. Creativity comes into play.
And do a Zoom.
Butt naked.
Do a Zoom where y'all are actually like y'all on a date eating your food at a restaurant.
I like that.
So that, you
That's
gotta get
cute.
You gotta get creative with, You
might need to do a men talk, or maybe we need a couples night for like the traveling spouses.
Yeah, the traveling people.
Maybe you should. You got a pen? My pen fell. My pen fell down there. So the traveling spouses. So that's a good idea. So prioritizing, right? Basically, like you said, recommitting to the decision that you've been holding off. Because if you're not committed to these decisions and they fall off and you just don't, put action, your marriage is gonna start falling apart. Like it's like a puzzle, and the pieces start falling apart. Think about it. Like if you have how many weeks in a year? 52, right? 52 weeks in a year. Let's say you got 52 puzzle pieces. Every week that you're not prioritizing that spouse, you're losing a piece of that puzzle. So eventually, you're not putting that priority first. That puzzle's gonna fall apart. Like you're missing the pieces. And then think about it when we go through a rough journey, a rough patch, you're thinking about, okay, the 52 weeks happened and you only got 10 pieces left. So you're behind almost a whole year, half a year to try to put this puzzle, your marriage, back together. Now you're doing double the work. So now is it going to be easier to put the puzzle together or harder to put that thing back? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So now you're working. Now it's harder. Now it's like, oh man, now we're going into our second year where we can't stand each other. Now we're going to the second year where the husband don't even look at the wife no more. Now we're looking into a second year where, all she do is do stuff for the kids. But yeah, you haven't been putting that puzzle together.
So this is where I come in and I tell you people, I tell all these couples right here. Right now, we're almost done with the first quarter of the year. And so reevaluating your marriage is right. Like this is a good time to reevaluate your marriage.
I didn't write that.
And when you reevaluate, now, like I said, that goes back to bringing in the new for the next remaining of the year, and you setting the tone, right? So now that after you reevaluate the first quarter, we're going into the second quarter, and before you get into the second quarter, you're going ahead and setting those goals, those renewed goals, those renewing your mind. You're starting to now, just get more involved in your marriage and just learning more. And that's the thing, you got to learn about your marriage as well, because we change. You got to learn, things change. You got to start learning more and start getting more involved with your spouse. You got to start, she might have liked something before, and now her tastes have changed. You get what I'm saying? She might have.
You gotta also compromise.
Yeah.
Like, you might not be into the lunch dates, but I like the lunch dates. Maybe one day you're like, you know what, babe, let's go do a lunch, and if let's say you want wings for dinner, let's do lunch wings or something. You know what I mean? Like, just about, like you said, reevaluating. I think I wrote that down because I want to do a whole separate life about that. Just like a little bonus, and it might need to be like a $9.99 hour conversation with some worksheets or something, because we going over goals and going over monthlies. Like, it's a real deal, like charting and all that. Like, I'm talking serious scheduling and stuff, because we write it down. Like, we literally have a schedule when we be like, okay, this day we're doing this day we're doing that. Sometimes you got to be like, okay, you've been out of town. Like, we're talking about the out-of-towners, right? You out of town. Okay, well, Saturday night, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock when the kids are asleep, it's about to be on. Like, we about to get it popping because you about to leave tomorrow. Because I know from my out-of-towners, you can't be leaving them dry, if you know what I'm talking about, when they're going out of town. Especially them pit stops. Y'all already know it goes down. Okay, so last thing is, before that, renew thinking from negative to positive. So we got to renew our mind, renew our thinking. I talk about this a lot, the negative into positive. Renew how you think of your spouse. Renew how, you observe certain things, instead of saying, like he told me the other day, instead of saying to him why he wasn't doing something, or he I said, what I said? I said something that, you're not doing nothing, or I said something with an attitude, and he was like, why you don't just ask me, hey babe, can you take the lead on this? You remember that? So to me, it was negative. It was an attitude. It was like, you're not doing nothing. What are you doing? You're on your phone. You're not helping me. I'm over here with the kids. I'm thinking all these things. Meanwhile, he was like, you could have just told me, I could have led, and it would have been a simple situation, a great attitude, positive. I could have got a little bonus session. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it messes it up. It really messes up the tone, because especially for him, man, wives, y'all got to be careful how y'all have the tone. Y'all mess up the moments, and then they're going to go to bed. That's what's about to happen. What's this question, babe? So what does it mean to, well, this was simple, which I thought it was cool, because some of us are like, what do you mean by renew? And I thought about this. When you renew something, what does that mean, right? So I thought, like, when they have, like Sam's Club membership or BJ's or Costco's, you renew your membership every year. I feel like marriages, like he was talking about the goals. I feel like every year you should have a different aspiration in your marriage. When you renew a Sam's Club card or Costco's, you just pay. You don't think about the past. You don't think about, oh, I bought last year all these things, what I'm gonna buy this year. No, you're starting new. You're starting from the beginning. What else I put? You're starting fresh. The past is gone. You're moving forward. You're renewing this membership.
It's a new contract.
Oh, see, you got to be careful with that. Because now people are going to say, is marriage a contract?
No, it's not a contract in the sense of like a business contract.
Even though there's business moves happening in the marriage.
Business moves that happen. But what I mean by your contract, far as your love, your feelings, what are you doing for that person to help them get to the next level? You know what I mean? Because you also want to renew, because like in the marriage it happens, one person might be, moving with the business or whatever, the finances this way, and this person kind of is like hasn't, kind of winded up yet. So, you got to kind of pivot, like you said earlier, pivot off each other. You got to balance each other out,
compromise.
And compromise. And so you got to start balancing. But
it doesn't matter going with the pivot, like the what you just said, the compromise. Like if you're going and you're not, like it happens. Like there's times that, like for example, he just got a bonus the other day. He was like, "Babe, I got a bonus. Let's do this, or let's handle this, let's handle that. What we got to do, blah blah blah." Then there's times when he talks about surprises. There's times when I might get a little extra overtime or something like that, couple hours, or some clients or whatever. I'll be like, hey, let's go and do this, or let's do that. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, well, I got all this bonus money. What you doing? Or, you know, because now you're messing up the inside, like the renewing of each other, the positive and stuff. You're messing that up, you know. So you gotta be careful, and it's not a contract.
It's not a contract. You just gotta uplift each other. You know, I'm not.
Just make sure you are on his insurance, though. Just make sure, wives, you're on the insurance, okay? You and the kids are good.
And you're on a beneficiary, right?
Exactly. Double check that tonight. You never know, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, so this was really it. Like, we kind of wanted to go a little bit into Renew. We're not as long. We kind of, you know, want to see what you guys are thinking, how you guys feel. We did about 45 minutes tonight, so that was pretty cool. It wasn't a huge extended hour, as you can tell. Like, we just got in last night super late from an amazing weekend in West Palm Beach, meeting up with a lot of our millionaire friends. I can say that because, hey, you got to surround yourself with, you know, what you want, where you want to go. So what's next is me tomorrow, right? Today's Wednesday?
Yep,
tomorrow night is ladies' night. I might sneak in maybe like a Friday, or I might do it early tomorrow. Probably, no, I got clients. Never mind. I got clients tomorrow afternoon. So for Thursday night, we're doing ladies' night. I think I'm going to be talking about a praying wife. I really want to get into that. I really think that's a big deal. So definitely, you know, get your girlfriends on, you know, tag your other friends, females, husbands, if you're listening. If y'all don't understand, because I didn't understand this either, the value and the importance. Brandon could probably do a call one night for the men. The value and the importance of a praying wife. I didn't know it was that big of a deal. But a praying wife is stronger than the mom, the dad, the kids. And this is real talk. Like, it's in the Bible. Like, it's for real. Like, a praying wife it's nuts. And I love it because I learn about it. I keep learning about it. And then let me tell y'all some scoop. I remember I told you this. I learned, and this is funny because, you know, I'm really big into praying, but I was listening to Steve Harvey, prayer, motivation, right? First thing. And he talked about just asking. Just asking, just question. Like, so now when we talking about renewing, when I mentioned to y'all, if you're struggling in your marriage, have you actually asked, and this is a little bonus, have you actually asked God as a wife or a husband the question of helping him? Hey, can you help me renew our marriage? Can you help me reconnect with my spouse? You know, have you asked? Because it sounds funny, but I didn't know about this. And I told Brandon 2 days ago, or I think it was yesterday, I told him, I said, man, the game done changed. They done messed up with me learning and understanding the power of asking God versus telling God. Because I used to always be like, oh, bring me my millions, give me, you know, manifesting. But I never asked him. I never, you know, literally said, God, can you send me this millions? Like, I never really asked certain things. But now that I learned and I've been asking every day. Listen, my questions, I've been asking, and things, it's been happening. Like, literally, right, babe? Like, within, like, the same day. Like, we asked something the other day, and it was like, boom. We were like, geez, that was fast. Like, so I should have been asking about all these things. Like, they done messed up the game. So God got something coming for himself, because I didn't know about this, because he has everything there. He got you married for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all fell in love for a reason. You have to just ask to bring it back together. Ask, you know, can you get my husband to prioritize our marriage more?
Or if it's an addiction or anything like that, you can ask him, can you stop his addiction?
Yeah, and then, of course, you have to, what is it, actions are dead without faith? Something like that?
Yeah.
Faith is dead. Well, how does it go? Faith is dead without works. Actions is dead with, you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know how exactly.
Somebody type it in the comments, please, if y'all know what I'm talking about. But that's what it is, because you can ask all day for him to stop that your husband or wife is addicted, but you also follow through. You pray. You help your spouse. You don't attack them. You want to help renew, like he said, renew that soul, spirit, and mind from that addiction.
So ask to renew your marriage, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But,
renew the love.
and stuff.
So, you look so excited tonight, Brandon.
It's been a long week.
It's only Wednesday.
I know, but it's been long.
We just got back from the beach.
Yeah, but it's been long. But again, guys, tune in Thursday for ladies' night. Maybe you should just do, the asking 30 minutes and maybe the prayer to God 30 minutes. Split it up or something like that. It's ladies' night. You figure out how you want to do it.
I got a whole book of a power of a praying wife. So y'all ladies, y'all wives, y'all might need to bring the coffee because, it's going to be crazy having the wine talking about prayer. You know what I'm saying? You can, though, but you might, we might could do like coffee or tea or something talking about this.
And remember, go to our website, direct.me/Barker Worldwide, guys. Check out our website. Also, our Instagram page is marriage.p.o.r.n, marriage acronym P.O.R.N. Pure, open, renew, and navigate next Wednesday.
What's next week?
Next Wednesday, we'll be doing navigation. Navigating your marriage. How you going to navigate this thing? How you going to continue to be on the right path?
And more excited.
Yes, we are,
Because I'm tired too.
Yeah,
y'all get all the energy. Because he's like, you need to renew your spirit.
Yeah.
So I'm renewed, but he's not. Like, what's happening?
Whatever.
Y'all know we keep it real, okay?
And then when it comes to Monday, I will be doing Men's Monday. I haven't came up with a topic. I got a couple of topics out there I want to holler at the fellas about on Men's Monday. I always come through with the fellas on Men's Monday to get our week started, you know what I mean? So
what was this past Monday?
This past one was It's Time to Level Up.
Oh, y'all gotta re-watch it because I was in the background at the hotel room like, oh, he about to get something today, boy. Because he was going in. He talked about some things that, because I was like, what you gonna say? He gave me like 3 sentences. Then he pulled out a whole 18 pages and stuff talking about all these different leveling up in different aspects of your lives. Not just money, but God and business and love and family. It was just a whole bunch of stuff. I was like, dang. Y'all should have seen me in the background. I was about to twerk a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all got to spice it up, right? So, it was really good. And, what else? So, you're coming back on Monday. I'm coming back tomorrow.
Yes. So, I don't know what I'm going to do for them. But, I'm a
I really want to do, like, a setup, a live meet and greet with, like, husbands. Like, I want to have, like, a date. Like, summertime is coming. Maybe for like June or for May, set up like a Monday night live men's at like the bar, like a friendly,
or a
lounge, or like a pool hall or something, or something pretty cool. And then for ladies, I don't even know what I would do.
Yeah. Oh, I got a great idea, but
the spa.
No, I got a secret spot for y'all ladies. You know what I mean? But we're gonna keep that. We'll set that up.
And then a marriage spot, and then we can do like a marriage gathering, a marriage get up, and we all hang out. One of the biggest things that I want to try one weekend is getting some couples, and it doesn't have to be a getaway, but just one night, staying downtown in Atlanta, get a hotel. If some of y'all are out of town, we can schedule it. We can schedule it where it's maybe not spring break, but maybe summer break or something like that, where some of you couples can come in town for the weekend. Atlanta's a lot to do, especially the summertime. It's great. So, maybe for the weekend, like we'll do one night, we'll all just hang out, grab a bite, do some marriage talk, some fun stuff. And of course, we'll talk about certain things, but not just strictly like going in on people. We want to have fun, have fun. I want to get my little margarita, Brandon probably could, chill, whatever. So, but yeah, we want to get things together, guys. I appreciate y'all chiming in. Go to our page, check us out, and thank you for getting on tonight.
Thank you guys for getting on, and y'all have a great rest of, you're going to be on
Wednesday, tomorrow. Rest of your night.
Rest of your night.
Everybody go get that paper, grind it out. If y'all into the trading world, money is popping. Crypto is going up. Y'all already know the dollar is tanking. Let's get this bread. Y'all have fun. If y'all want some help with that bread now, DM me, DM my husband, because gas prices are retarded. They're not even dumb. They're not even high. They're retarded. Like, somebody put, it was 7 something in California, I think. And they said in the thing, how is gas higher than your credit score? And I thought that was hilarious. But if you're struggling with the gas situation, don't, you know what I'm saying, get the entrepreneur world. You know, multiple incomes, multiple things, especially working from home. We're not as affected because we're not putting gas every 3 days or every 2 days. Because I see some of y'all putting up $100 gas and 70 and 80. And I'm like, geez, that's like half of somebody's check for, you know, overtime. You can't even do overtime and do savings because now it's going in gas. So you working to get gas and pay bills, right? So hit us up, guys. We'll help you get y'all together. Have a good one. Thank you for getting on. And Mr. Barker, have a good one.
All right. And y'all have a good night. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Deuces. Smile. Sunshine. Now you want to smile hard, right?